So we are taking this session to map the entire chapter number 3, protection of information systems. In the morning we saw managerial controls. Now let's see all the controls once again. Once again, this is your office. Now why we must protect information systems? Due to constantly changing factors, there is always a gap between degree of protection required and degree of protection applied. Now let's see what are these factors. Widespread use of technology, then interconnectivity of system, devolution of management and control, elimination of time, distance, and space as constraints. So basically, we are talking that there is internet everywhere. Using internet, we are connecting all the devices, not just our microphones and all, but also mobile devices, printers and all. The perpetrator, he needs to just do a sequencing of all the links and just find a loophole to attack the system. Then unevenness in technological changes, attractiveness to conduct unconventional electronic attacks, and external factors such as regulatory requirements and technological development. What this means is, even if some of the information systems are developed and have more security features, not all the systems have those features. We need to implement those features in all the systems. Nowadays, instead of physical attacks, now electronic attacks are more attractive for hackers because they can incur a lot of losses. And due to regulatory requirements, we are supposed to disclose some information which may or may not be confidential to the regulators. Now the hackers, they can easily gain access if some information is being transferred to the regulators by hacking the communication lines. So because of these factors, you can remember this as wide UAE. There is a gap between the protection that we have applied and the protection that we require for protection of our information system. Okay. So why do we need controls? To ensure the following. These are basically the audit objectives: safeguarding of assets, data integrity, system efficiency, and system effectiveness. And we also need to maintain CIA of data. What is CIA? Confidentiality, integrity, and availability. After this, so these are the controls that we have seen in this chapter. This is just a small recap of all the controls. Why we have preventive controls? So that we detect or we prevent the malicious activities even before they occur. Then if a malicious activity occurs, even if there are preventive controls, then we must make sure that we have detective controls. It must not be the case that the hacker has hacked the system and there is no log maintained for access list and all. So we need to maintain access log even if the users are authorized or unauthorized. That is what is detective control. Then what is corrective control? If the information system is compromised and data is destroyed, we must be able to recover that data by doing reconstruction of events, personal accountability, and detecting unauthorized access. So we using those corrective controls, we can reduce the impact of such an attack. After this, compensatory control. What is compensatory control? It doesn't eliminate the threat or reduce the threat, but it reduces the probability of threat. For example, for access to the computer room, instead of cipher locks, then bolting doors and all, we will just hire a security guard. Now the cost of security guard is not as much as cipher locks and bolting door, but it can he helps in reducing the probability of attack to some extent. After this, environmental controls. there are a lot of natural elements involved, such as fire, earthquake, flood, tsunami, and all. Equipment failure, component failure, then water damage. So because of these natural elements also, company can incur a loss. That is why we have environmental controls. Then logical access controls and physical access controls. We are doing this to prevent unauthorized access. In physical access control, it is the employee that we are focusing on. In logical access control, it can be anyone, not just the employee. Then managerial control and application control. In application control, we are ensuring that whatever data we are entering into the system, it is CAV. What is CAV? Complete, accurate, and valid. That is why we have a lot of input controls, output controls, and all. Because if the input data is wrong, the output is going to be wrong. It is like GIGO. What is GIGO? Garbage in, garbage out. That is why we have application control. And in the last, we have managerial controls. Just remember, whatever management functions are there, we are trying to get an overview of it using these controls. The theory behind this managerial controls is that of management functions, that is planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. The controlling part is not what we have learned in ISCA. It is in relation to the costing part. So what we have to remember here is we are trying to get control over MODI. What is MODI? Maintenance, operation, then implementation, and development of software. Okay, after this, now let me ask you some questions. Just try to answer them. Smoke detectors. What type of controls they are?
Environmental.
After that, dog. Security dog.
Physical access control.
You can say that they are a compensatory control. After that, cipher lock, bolting door, deadman door.
Physical access.
Physical access. After that, wire tapping.
Logical access.
Logical. Yes. After that, antivirus.
Logical.
We can say it is preventive. Even before attack, we have antivirus. Then backup.
Managerial.
It is corrective. Why we are taking backup? So that if the data is destroyed, we can retrieve data from the same. Are you referring to data resource management controls in managerial?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if you are referring to that, that is also correct. Then output controls.
Application control.
Yes, application control. Now, tell me, what is a multiplexer and a concentrator?
Communication controls.
Yes, in communication control. So this is just a mapping I have done of all the controls. Now we will just see what are the purpose. So preventive, detective, corrective, and compensatory. These four controls are classified on the basis of objectives. Then environmental, logical access, and physical access controls. They are classified on the basis of information system resources, and then managerial control and application control, we are classifying on the basis of audit function. Now let's again revise the managerial controls. In that, what we have to do is we have to learn everything in a reverse way, not in the chronological manner. Okay. First, we will see operations. Here, you have to remember the 67-year-old woman. She has started working in the IT company. She is not able to find the access token. So she is referring to the job description. Then we are doing operational control, then scheduling control and maintenance controls. That is in relation to computer operations. Then we have network operations, and then we are shifting her job description from email filtering to other data entry. So then she will enter the data. After that, she will store that data in documentation library. Then she will understand how to manage the special files such as magnetic tapes and all using file library controls. So all the operational part we will understand in operations. Then to see whether the BCP DRP is done correctly or not, and to make sure that everything is ensured and threats are being identified. These are the aspects which are not covered by the risk management function. That will be covered by security management control. Then remember Jeff Bezos, he keeps on saying that you must obsessively focus on the customer. You must provide your products at low prices and with maximum benefits. So what he is talking about is giving a quality product which is accessible to all. So he's talking about quality assurance controls. Okay, even if you are charging low, you must ensure that whatever product you are giving, it is of a certain quality. Then employee records. Okay, employee records are supposed to be kept confidential in the skills, qualification, experience, and the personal characteristics and all. We will use data resource management controls to ensure security of the same. Then we will verify the coding of the programs, whether there are any coding errors, programming errors. And we will give the program for testing to everyone in the organization, not just the users, but also internal auditor and other, so that if it is accessible and usable by everyone, only then we will approve that program. So for that we have programming controls. And to get an overview or keep a control on the system development cycle, we have system development management control. And all the other aspects or the remaining controls for which there is no certain heading, or you can say to ensure that management functions are carried out correctly in the organization, we have managerial controls or top management and information system management controls. Here, if they are asking a question, you have to write that we are having these controls to facilitate MODI. What is MODI? Maintenance, operation, development and implementation of information system. Okay, any queries you have till now? Okay. Once you start reading, and you may come across that you have understood everything, but you are not able to understand the top management and information system management controls. Just remember what you have to do in planning, then leading, controlling, and organizing. Just remember the content inside it, even if you can't understand the flow or the context in which they are talking. It is just they have blended the management theory with information technology. So this is all I wanted to convey. This is the flow of this chapter. After these controls, you can go with cyber attacks, cyber techniques, and the remaining questions for policies, procedures, standards, then issues to be addressed in policies, then contents of the policy, then policy and hierarchy, and then internal controls. After this, the chapter will be over. Yes, any question you want me to answer?